Hello, you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with Microsoft, the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Takeoff, Sezzle, and Silk.
First, we take off with a move long theorized, and now it's here. Anne.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this
I know
because
you
I've
are.
been talking about it for a while, and it's
Yeah,
finally happening,
it is.
Chris. That is right. Peloton is going to sell its bikes and treads at Dick's Sporting Goods. According to CNBC, the partnership makes Dick's the first brick-and-mortar retailer to carry Peloton equipment outside of Peloton's namesake stores. A launch has yet to be announced, but the two companies are teasing that they will have Peloton products in more than 100 of Dick's almost 700 stores nationwide in time for the holiday shopping season. They do have a list of those stores on the website if you're interested in which stores those are going to be.
Wow, you've done your research.
Oh, I have. The products will be in specific Peloton displays, and Dick's employees will be trained to assist customers with them. And important to note that the prices will not vary between Peloton and Dick's. Chris, why don't you give the listeners an opportunity to hear what your thoughts are on this? Because
I don't really have that much to say on this one, really. I mean, I kind of like fine. You know, we talked about this a while ago, and it's here. Like, yeah, kind of. It's like we have to is kind of how I feel like with this whole thing with the Peloton story and the new leadership. But my question is really, where do you go from here? You know. And the last point you mentioned about pricing, I find really fascinating too, because at some point that's going to go away. Like, everyone always tries to do that, but you can't keep it because Dick's will get backed up on inventory. So will Peloton at some point, and the pressure will come to move units. And then you're just another exercise bike on the floor at Dick's at a discount. And so for the life of me, I can't understand why Peloton, of all brands, needs to go wholesale this overtly, this quickly. It feels like the brand, through the addition of exercise equipment and apparel, it should be able to stand on its own. And so honestly, if anything, I'm kind of sad this morning because I think of what could have been with Peloton and where it's going, and that crushes my heart, Anne, because I actually like Peloton a lot.
Well, I don't know. I have to say, I love this move.
You love it, right?
I know that you are against, going wholesale, but let's be real here. If you want to create a product that's going to get, you need subscribers. They sell the bike once, that's one time. They're getting the money from the apparel, from the subscribers. And if you're going to do that, you need to go mass, and Dick's is the best place, I think, to do this.
Kind of the only place, too.
I've said I think Target would be another appropriate spot for this to potentially go.
One time,
but I do think that the Dick's Sporting Goods store is where I would have gone first before Amazon and anyone else.
For sure.
We just shot a video that is going to be coming out soon from the Dick's new House of Sport concept. And I think if you think about Peloton in that context of Dick's really nicely executed these houses, like shop-in-shops within their existing store footprint in this House of Sport. And I think that gives kind of a different appeal to the Peloton experience. You still get to have a Peloton shop-in-shop inside of this Dick's Sporting Goods. But I also think, this is much more fitting for Peloton than a standalone mall store. Those mall stores are only in the A malls, elite locations. This is now bringing it to the masses. You have, when I was in that Dick's Sporting Goods store, there were tons of moms in there shopping for their kids, which is something that they're doing for back to school, each seasonal sports time period. And now you have something for them to see and try out. You have to get the screens. You have to get the classes. Like you've said multiple times, you have to get people on those bikes in order to get them as interested in these classes. And I think this is a great way to do it. Second point you mentioned too, I think this is a better opportunity when you look at what Dick's is doing with their apparel shop-in-shops for their own brands. This is a fantastic opportunity to really bring Peloton apparel to the level of a Nike and Under Armour or any of the other brands if they really are trying to make that apparel play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you said. I mean, and at the end of the day, let's recap where we are. They're on Amazon now. They're in Dick's. They're full on mass, right?
Yeah.
And so it is what it is now at this point. And so, yeah, to me, like I said before, it's the right next move. My question is, where does it stop too? If you're in Walmart with this, that becomes an issue to me, potentially. Target, I said, I don't necessarily agree that's the right move for a whole host of reasons on both sides. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think it feels like the right thing to do now.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at some of the other competitors like Nordic Track or like some of the other ones. Like you're not seeing that in Target, Walmart, whatever. Like you're seeing that in a Dick's
you're
Sporting
not. You're
Goods
seeing
or
that
like
for that reason,
Concept
right?
2 or
Yeah.
like any of these other.
Maybe Best Buy you could go to
Sure,
too, but
sure.
I don't know. It seems like the natural outgrowth here. But all right, let's keep rolling. Headline number 2. I'm glad you love it. Oh, and you're in the market for a Peloton too, right? For the audience, just to let them in on a little inside baseball.
Yes, I am in the market for a Peloton, but I think I'm going to buy a used one off of Marketplace instead.
I think that's a better way to go. Plus, they're pretty expensive now too.